Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Jeffrey Cooperstein, and we're just going to hop right into it. What is this? I saw this on Twitter this morning that the Mavericks and Rockets were teams to, quote-unquote, have quiet discourse around Jimmy Butler. What are we talking about? That's what we're talking about here on Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Jeffrey Cooperstein. No matter where you are watching, it's great to be here talking Dallas Mavericks ball with you guys. We'll get to tonight's tilt in just a moment, but I needed to address this. Because I just want to say flat out right here, there is no way the Mavericks are trading for Jimmy Butler. It's basically impossible, and I'll tell you why. First of all, Jimmy Butler making a ton of money. The Mavericks don't really have the assets to be able to match monetarily what Miami would need back in return. The Mavs also don't have the draft capital what Miami would need back in return in order to execute a Jimmy Butler trade. I couldn't believe that this was something that was actually being talked about. I think the only connection that Jimmy has with the Dallas Mavericks is he's from Tomball, which is a suburb of Houston. So he's not even from the Dallas area. Look, we know the Mavs are going to be active around the trade deadline. Every year, Nico Harrison has been in charge of this franchise. The Mavs have made some sort of move to improve their roster. I don't think they're going to be playing at the top of the NBA trade deadline like they did when they traded for Kyrie, or like they did even last year when they traded for both PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. We'll explore a little bit on Jimmy just for shits and giggles here. Look, Jimmy's still a decent player. Now, there's a key if. There's a big if Jimmy is a decent player. Jimmy is a decent player if he plays. Look at the last 4 years here. The max amount of games he's played was 64 in 2023-24. He's played in 14 games so far this year. The numbers look good. The shooting numbers, especially the field goal percentage, is good. The shooting numbers from three, not as good. And look, Jimmy is a guy who is considered one of the most fierce competitors in the NBA. He's considered a guy that you want on your team to win. He is a guy that will go to battle, and he will play as hard as he possibly can every single night. But is Jimmy really a super winning basketball player? I don't know if he helps this Mavericks team get over the hump. And here's what his contract looks like. This year, he's making $48.7 million, and then he has a player option next season for $52.5 million. Are you paying $52.5 million to a guy on the wrong side of 30 who deals with a lot of injuries, who has blatant disregard for the regular season? I don't think I am, and I don't think the Mavericks would be super interested either. I simply just don't think this is feasible for the Mavs. But I outlined both the money reasons and the draft capital reasons that the Mavs wouldn't make this deal. It just doesn't make sense. Are you trading a Klay Thompson? The only guys you could even trade to make this deal work would be a Luka or a Kyrie. You're not trading Luka or Kyrie to the Miami Heat to get Jimmy Butler. I know I'm Captain Obvious here, but it's simply just not happening. I can't believe this was even a rumor that I saw on Mavericks Twitter this morning. It's just simply not happening. Jimmy Butler is not going to be a Dallas Maverick. I want that to be extremely, extremely clear. But I do want to ask you this. If it was possible, if it was even possible for the Mavericks to land Jimmy Butler to put on this team this year, would you want him? Type Y for yes, type N for no. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So you go get hit with the YouTube ad break, go on down there and get your votes and whether or not you would want Jimmy Butler as a part of the Dallas Mavericks team. And this is why you hit that subscribe button. We give it to you straight, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. If I think I see a rumor out there and I don't think there's any credence to it whatsoever, I'm going to come on here and tell you, hey, this is BS. Jimmy Butler's not coming to the Mavericks. Let me tell you why. I just told you why there in the first half of the video. Hit that subscribe button if you want the latest Mavericks news, rumors, analysis from someone who's going to give it to you straight. I'm not going to BS you guys here when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks, man. You guys know how big of a fan I am, and I want the best for this franchise whatsoever. So I'm going to tell you the truth, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. Subscribe now for more Dallas Mavericks content. On the second half of today's show, is Maxi Kleber's time with the Dallas Mavericks up? I think he's completely cooked, and he can't be trusted as a member of this rotation anymore. We're going to take a look here at Maxi Kleber in just a moment and what the Mavs could possibly do with him in the future. But first, I do need to tell you guys about our sponsor, which of course is Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. And PrizePicks, of course, puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. And PrizePicks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. And PrizePicks also offers weekly promotions that could lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. And here's what I have cooking for tonight's basketball game. I'm going to take the more on Derek Lively rebounds at 7. I'm also going to take the more on Luka, points, rebounds, and assists, 45.5. And I'll take the less on John Morant, 7.5 assists. So you can copy my picks or you can fade my picks. Just please make sure you do it with our friends over at PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS to get that $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. It is PrizePicks. Run your game. Here's what Maxi Kleber has done so far this season. 2 points, 3 rebounds, less than half a block, shooting a putrid 25% from 3. If Maxi's going to play on this team, it has to start at the perimeter. And his shot looks so ugly right now. Watch tonight's game against the Memphis Grizzlies and just watch Maxi Kleber shoot the basketball. It just looks super unnatural, and he doesn't look comfortable whatsoever. Now, he is playing some decent defense out there as well. We know he can guard 4s, he can guard 5s. So that is what Maxi is going to have to do to keep himself on the floor. But man, if his shooting numbers are this bad and he's not really rebounding the basketball as a 6'10 guy, where's the room for him here? I like Maxi. He's the second longest tenured Maverick next to Dwight Powell. He's been here for a long time. He's been a good servant to the Mavericks organization. I just think it's time to go. He's making $11 million over the next 2 seasons, which doesn't really help the cause. The only way that you can kind of get rid of Maxi, if you're looking to, is to use him as a salary matcher in a deal. If the Mavs want to make any deal of any significance whatsoever leading up to this trade deadline, Kleber's going to have to be used as that salary matcher, but the Mavs are probably going to have to make a deal involving multiple teams because they just don't have the assets or the ammo to get exactly what they're going to need in this trade deadline season as we approach. The trade deadline is in the middle of February, so we're about 2 months away from that being the case. The Mavs are starting to evaluate their options here. I do believe if there's one person to be traded from this Mavericks team, it's going to be Maxi Kleber. I think that's pretty plain and simple because he's the odd man out right now. He's not one of the top 2 centers. He's technically your backup 4, but the Mavs can get away with playing Najee Marshall there as well. I just don't see a fit for Maxi on this team anymore, especially if he's not going to shoot the basketball like we need him to in order to stay in this rotation. Let me know what you guys think, though. Which player on the Mavs, nice voice crack, which player on the Mavs do you want to trade away most? Is it Maxi Kleber? Is it Spencer Dinwiddie? Is there a guy I haven't mentioned like Max Prosper or Jaden Hardy? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Which Mavs player you want to trade away the most? And tonight's game is kind of a big one. NBA Cup matchup. It's the group play finale here. And we're going to go through the tiebreakers here because they're kind of confusing. But essentially, if the Mavericks win, they're going to be in the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup. So here's exactly what it looks like here. Dallas clinches the wild card spot, so they can't win the group. They clinched the wild card spot with a Oklahoma City loss, a Trailblazers loss, plus a Mavs win. Also, a Mavs win, plus the Mavs win the tiebreaker over Portland and the second place team. Now, if you look at the note at the bottom, in order for the Mavs to have a chance to win the tiebreaker, they have to lose by fewer than 24 points or in overtime. That's where that 41-point blowout against the Utah Jazz comes in handy. So this is what the Mavs have to do, basically. Essentially, if you win, you're going to be in to the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup, which will be a road game likely to be determined who that is going to be against. As soon as we know who the Mavericks are going to play in that NBA Cup quarterfinal game, we will let you guys know. And if they win that, they're off to Vegas for the semifinals and hopefully a final. Maybe the Mavs can lift a trophy in the middle of the season. I still think it'd be cool. Trophy obviously doesn't mean a whole lot, but it would be nice to go win the NBA Cup, get the fellas an extra 500 Gs. I think that'd be cool. I could use an extra 500 Gs as well. James Yoder, if you're watching. But that's going to be it for today's show. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's youtube.com/Mavericks TV. We're bringing you all of the latest Mavericks news and rumors. We'll be back soon with another episode. See you guys.